Hey everybody, it's Joy Packard. I just wanted to make this quick little video. I'm on my way home, halfway through, and stopped to take a little break and stretch my legs. I'm on my way home, drive home from Austin, and we just finished the today, the weekend, the Internet Marketers Expo in Austin. It was awesome, and whew, I'm exhausted, but whenever you go to conferences, right, you get lots of great information, lots of information from all the speakers, and we get a lot of good things that we need to implement. And when we're in the conference, we actually say, wow, that's an awesome concept or an awesome idea. And then we ask, we wonder, like, well, at least I do. I know that we have a lot of things that we want to do and to implement in our business, right? And we have literally 18 to 20 hours of information that we get into our brains during these conferences and during this weekend. And so I was going to share with you, and I think I shared with you before, a couple of these tips of what I do. And I learned this from another conference that I attended one time, and that is this. In your little notebook or whatever you're writing on, you can basically whenever you have a moment where you think, I need to implement that, or I need to look that up, or I need to go to that website, what I usually do is I put a little black rectangular black marker, I fill it in. I'm not sure how you can do it. Like, if I really want to get to it, I usually put a star. And so then I know when I get home, that this is something that I'm going to want to look into when I get home. It doesn't have to be that way for you. You can choose whatever way you want, but somewhere in your notes, where you can see it, that reminds you of, yes, I need to go to that website. Yes, I need to implement that particular action. Because if you don't, then what's going to happen is you're going to go home and you're going to have all this information. And we talked about this on the other video that I did. And what's going to happen is you're going to have all this information, and then you're not going to do anything with it. So I've learned through the years and through the conferences that I go to, that you basically, that's the way that you have to do it, so that you will implement what you learn. Like I say, I probably go to at least 5 or 6 conferences a year. And so you can imagine all the information. And there's some information that you can't get to right now. Like, there may be things like, okay, like maybe you're not quite ready to start your Shopify store, but you want to. And so in your notes, you might have, start my Shopify store, whatever. So, but there was something like when I went to the ACE conference, and I went, and Chris Green had mentioned, get on the AMS, and those of you who are on Amazon, you know what I'm talking about. And so there's some things that you want to implement, like now, like today, like in your business right now. And those are the things that, you can put the big black rectangular mark that I talked about and the star to tell you to go to those. And then you might have another symbol for yourself to go to the things that you want to get to down the road. I have several black and white composition notebooks of all of the different conferences that I go to, and that I can look back when I get home and go through my notes. It's just a little method that I've developed over the years and that I've learned. And then that way I'm not just going home overwhelmed, because right, we get overwhelmed, at least I do. You get overwhelmed with so many different notes and so many different things to do, and so many cool things that you want to do, but you're just kind of like, I'm not really sure where to begin. And so that's what I recommend for you, is to do that little method. It really works. It works for me. And, it may even be, you may develop your own system. Maybe it's numbering, like, the things that you want to do when you get home. Like you might say, there are 10 things that, or 5, or whatever your number is, that you want to learn and you want to take home from this conference. And you may number them throughout the whole thing, you know, so that way when you get home, you can say, all right, I know that I got at least 5 ideas from this conference that I need to do now. And then you can implement it. You know, from the last conference, one of them was to really get going on my Amazon merch account, which for those of you who are not Amazon, it's an account that has to do with creating t-shirts. And I had an account, but I didn't have all my t-shirts uploaded. So, you know, it was something. That way, like I say, you know, when you go to these conferences, it's not just like going to a conference, you know, going to a conference just to go to a conference and say, that was cool. There was a lot of great information. Because if you don't do anything with it, then, you know, hey, Darius, if you don't do anything with the information, then it's like you're back where you were again and you didn't go forward. And so it's really, really important to have a goal that when you go to these conferences that you say, all right, you know, I'm going to network as much as I can, which I do. You know, I network in the hallways. I network when I'm, you know, between the breaks, you know, for lunch, going to the seminar, going back, you know, even just usually there's a Facebook group that is, you know, made for that conference. And so I usually try to, you know, look at their name tag and say, hey, you know, we should connect. And then, you know, like today I made a connection just at the very last moment before I had to leave. And you know, there's some amazing people at this seminar, and you don't even really know like who's there. I mean, there's like people who are kind of famous, and you're sitting right next to them, and they can help you in your business. And so if you don't open your mouth, and if you're not willing to get yourself out there and network, which it is important to be in the classroom. It is important to be in the seminar, yes. But some of my best ideas and some of the things that I have learned have been in the hallways talking. I remember at the ACE conference, you know, that I did in Jersey, I had a 30-minute conversation or so outside with Chris Green. And that was one of the most awesome conversations I've had in a long time. You know, we kind of just talked about my business and, you know, what I was doing, what I can do better, you know, finishing my Amazon course, whether, you know, what kind of things that I need to put in there with all these new restrictions. So it's just a matter of moving forward, you know, because a lot of times, like I say, you know, we can become a conference junkie, which, you know, I love going to conferences, but honestly, if you don't do anything with the information, then you're not moving forward. All right, you can tell I'm losing my voice because I do a lot of talking at these conferences. So anyway, another awesome conference. Like I said, I'm speaking again in Baltimore in 2 weeks at the Q4 Expo. I had 2 free tickets that you know, they give me to give to people. And the people that were going to come told me that they're not able to make it. So if you're in that area and you want to go, you know, these tickets are $150. I have 2 free ones. You can message me, you know, private message me. You can comment here. The first 2 people who, you know, say they want them, they're yours. I just need to tell the presenter, the main person, the different names to go. Like I say, it's in Baltimore, Maryland, June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And I will be speaking, I think it is on the 3rd, sometime in the afternoon, because I have to actually fly to Dallas to speak at the Amazon Legends conference with Ryan Rieger and Danny Stock. So it's kind of like a back-to-back conference. I just wanted to fulfill my obligations. I love the opportunity to speak, and I love the opportunity to share. But anyway, those of you who want to go to Baltimore to that conference, like I say, if you want to go and find out what it's about, it's www.q, like letter Q, Q4expo.com. 2 free tickets. They're worth about $150 a piece. Whew, a lot of talking. I'm out of breath. And so anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. It is time to go back to my babies. It's been an awesome weekend. Like I said, I love being able to drive because I can just bring all my stuff and, you know, throw it in and get things done. So I also love going to Austin. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing awesome. You guys, I hope you learned something from this. If those of you are just joining, you can go back and learn the method of, like, when you go to a conference, how do you go back into your notes and be able to implement and remember the things that you basically just learned and that you are going to do something with. I'm going to be implementing about 10 different things tomorrow. So, in my mind, I said, I'm going to leave this conference and do 10 different things. Your number may be 1. It's okay. As long as you're doing something and not nothing, right? Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. There's not much of it left, and I can't wait to go home and squeeze my babies and my grandbabies, and excited to move forth with all the things that I learned. So you guys take care. I will talk to you soon.